Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your WWE TLC 2016 preview your way slash predictions show. I'm your host, LK from KocoSports.net. Looking forward to breaking down this show for you with our preview and with my predictions. I want to hear from you guys, and if you're joining me live right now, 3:53 a.m. UK time, A, thank you, and B, put in the comments your predictions for the show. What you think the match of the night will be, what you think the worst match of the night will be, and who you think will win each and every match. There's 6 matches. There's no pre-show matches announced. My bold prediction right here, right now, is that the pre-show match will be Apollo Crews versus Luke Harper, or Kane versus Luke Harper 75. One of those two things will happen, and that's what I think is going to happen on the pre-show, but no matches announced for the pre-show as of yet, so I'm going to use Wikipedia as my source. So if anything goes wrong and any of the matches are wrong, you can just blame Wikipedia, because that's what everyone does if they get any information wrong. So let's get straight to it. It's 3:53 a.m. Let's get my ass to bed. Heath Slater and Rhino. They'll be defending their SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship against the Wyatt family, that of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. This is the culmination of a tag team turmoil match that happened last week to crown a new number one contender for the tag titles, which American Alpha won. However, the Wyatt family just say we're in it, and then the week after they get a shot and win. Which means, what was the point of doing the gauntlet? Because the winner of the gauntlet didn't get a title match. Surely this means, or this could mean, that we will be getting what I think, okay? I think the Wyatt family, this is my prediction, the Wyatt family will beat Heath Slater and Rhino. They will become the new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. I then think we're going to get American Alpha versus the Wyatt family at the Royal Rumble. That's what I think. I think it's going to be Wyatt family versus Alpha at the Royal Rumble. You got two big teams. You got popular Bray Wyatt, Randy, on a popular American Alpha. Build Alpha up properly. Get Alpha's first win at the Rumble inside the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas, for 70,000 people. I think that'd be brilliant to make their career. Heath Slater and Rhino, I don't know what they can do. I don't know if Slater can turn heel on Rhino, or if Rhino can turn heel on Slater. I don't really know, because obviously Rhino's in politics in Michigan, so I don't really want to know if Rhino's, happy about the idea of turning heel. I don't know if that'll blow his world. But, I mean, you could see that heel Rhino. But it's just, do I give a fuck? And this is the issue that I'm having, that we're having so many pay-per-views so regularly now. It's like every other weekend, it's a pay-per-view. And it's a pain in the ass for me in particular, because I've bought Flow Slam. Okay, I subscribe to that monthly. And I want to see this indie wrestling. But I can't, because there's a WWE pay-per-view on, and the WWE pay-per-views will do good numbers. So it'll be illogical for me, a YouTuber who wants good numbers, to not do the WWE pay-per-view review. It'd be idiotic of me. It's like on Mondays, I want to watch CMLL. There's a weekly show live every Monday. I want to watch that. But I can't, because I have to watch fucking Raw. It's numbers. It's numbers. That's all this world is about. I can tell you that right now. Educational fact. This world is living and breathing based on numbers, dying at some point by numbers. TV ratings, viewership, merch numbers, account numbers, your bank numbers, your bank PIN. It's all numbers, okay? YouTube views, YouTube buys, YouTube subscribers, it's all numbers. That's all this world is. Take a moment and realize how often you think about numbers. I type numbers in when I log into my password on my laptop. I don't even realize I'm doing it. Whew. Jesus, and there's me going on off on an educational rant on my TLC 2016 preview and prediction show. I do apologize for my unprofessionalism. But my prediction again is Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, to get the win, become new SmackDown Tag Champs. The next 2 nights after it, on the SmackDown Live after, have Heath Slater and Rhino get their rematch, be unsuccessful, lose, see you later, catch your ass down the line. Then Wyatt family, American Alpha, SmackDown Live Tag Team titles at the Rumble, Alpha win, big moment, Orton turns on Bray at the Royal Rumble match. Orton turns on Bray at Mania, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. That's what I would do. Then we have a chairs match. Okay, Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. Now, this is a tough one. Neither man can really afford a loss here. They're going to have to be very careful how they book this, and that worries me. When WWE have to pay attention to detail, when they have to pay attention to attention in general, it always worries me, because I think WWE are a bunch of imbeciles, and Nimrods and Vince McCunt on the forefront of it doesn't help. But SmackDown Live tends to be better. Whoever was drafted to the SmackDown Live writing team, they can give themselves a Dave Coco, Barry Horowitz, and I'll drink to the SmackDown Live fucking writing team, and I'll spit it out in Vince McCunt's face. I think that they have to be careful because Kalisto taking a loss, he's just come back from injury. Don't want him looking like a jobber and going into relevancy like fucking Apollo Crews. But then Baron Corbin's been built so well. You know, he cost Kalisto at the Survivor Series. He's been having some heated arguments with Daniel Bryan. He's been giving a rub to Baron Corbin and The Miz, and people saying he's hogging the spotlight. I think that he's actually enhancing the talent with The Miz and with Corbin. So I think here you have Corbin get the win, be brutal, and maybe you could do it in a sympathy way, but I think WWE will go down the route of Kalisto winning with a roll-up or something. That's what my prediction is, that Kalisto will win with a roll-up. But if I'm booking this, okay, there's always a difference when I do these prediction shows. There's a prediction of what I think WWE should do. No, WWE will do, sorry, and then a prediction of what WWE should do. In the long term, who's going to make you more money? Baron Corbin or Kalisto? It's going to be Baron Corbin. Kalisto is going to be drafted to Raw at the Cruiserweight soon. Don't take a brain surgery to figure that out. Baron Corbin's your money. Corbin should annihilate. This is what we should do. Annihilate Kalisto to the point where you have sympathy for him. Like Sami Zayn on Monday. You have sympathy for him when Braun Strowman is obliviating him. You have sympathy for Kalisto. You then want to see Kalisto get his comeuppance. You want to see Kalisto kick his ass. That will never happen, but there's always that in the back of your mind. Okay, I want Kalisto to get his comeuppance. Baron Corbin can be a monster, and he can move the fuck on to Dolph Ziggler for the IC title. Bit of spoiler alert there. That's what I would do anyway. What WWE will probably do is they probably want to protect both. They might have Kalisto win with a roll-up, but they really should have Baron Corbin just obliviate Kalisto, maybe to the point where the referee stops it. That could be what they do. Speaking of stopping, Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match on a TLC pay-per-view. A no DQ match on a TLC fucking event. That is out of this world. You got a TLC match, a table match, a chairs match, a ladder match, a tag title match, and a no DQ match. Everything's a match. Can't it just be a singles match? I don't like these gimmick pay-per-views, but do you know why? It makes these gimmicks, the TLC, the ladders, the chairs, the tables, oh my, it makes them irrelevant, and it makes them unimportant. Do you know why it makes them unimportant? Because when they're writing these shows, when they're writing Hell in a Cell, when they're writing TLC, they're writing them as the gimmick, okay? If there wasn't a TLC pay-per-view and this was Unforgiven, or it's December, this was Armageddon, if this show was Armageddon, and they announced it would be a TLC match and a ladder match on the same night, you would be buzzing, you would be pumped, you would be motivated and excited to watch the W product on that Sunday. But because it's TLC, you're just accustomed to it. And it's just, they're doing it for the sake of doing it for a pay-per-view, not doing it because they need to. It's like the Elimination Chamber. I hated the idea of this Chamber pay-per-view coming back. Imagine the moment when the Elimination Chamber's announced after 3 to 4 years of it disappearing, and imagine how much that will mean. Hell in a Cell is identical. Doing a Hell in a Cell match just because the name of a pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell, that winds me the fuck up. You should do Hell in a Cell matches when you need to, and when you have to, when it feuds that hatred. It's like they'll be fucking making a pay-per-view called No DQ or Steel Cage or some bullshit like that. I despise that, and it really fucking grinds my gears. But Nikki Bella coming on No DQ, I think this could be my worst match of the night. I do, but with that being said, there's no DQ. It's Carmella's been vastly improved, and when we do our Try Awards at the end of the year, I think Carmella should be in there at least with Most Improved of the year, and same as Alexa Bliss. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I mean, it's Nikki Bella, so Nikki Bella will probably get the win. But Carmella could really do with a win. If this is me writing, I'd have Carmella win. Big win. No DQ match at a big time pay-per-view. And Nikki Bella never needs to win ever again. She's Nikki Bella. She's going to be over. Have Nikki Bella lose. Have Carmella win. Have Carmella cheat. Maybe rake with the eyes and then win with pulling of the dice. Get that done. That way Carmella can go over. She can move on. Becky Lynch, Carmella. Unless Alexa Bliss wins. And I want Alexa Bliss to win, so it's really tough. I can honestly see them doing a 4-way at the Rumble. I really can. But I would think Carmella should win. Do I think she will? I think Nikki Bella will win. the way the story's worked out, the babyface always needs to get their comeuppance. That's just WWE storytelling 101, which means Nikki Bella will get the win. I'm pretty convinced Nikki Bella will get the win here. Excuse me. Then we have The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Even though it doesn't say this on Wikipedia, apparently it is the last, or at least that's what it said on WWE TV about 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. This is the last time we will see Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. They wrestled it Backlash. They wrestled it No Mercy. They wrestled on about 5 SmackDowns. They wrestled it now TLC. And just going on and on. This match will be great. I think this should kick off the show. I think it will make the crowd will be hot. Ziggler had a great ladder match with Luke Harper back at TLC 2014 for the IC title. Ziggler can have a good ladder match. Miz, he can play it safe. Ziggler can take all the bumps. But my prediction here is Ziggler to get the win, Miz to move on. I think you should have Ziggler get that IC title back. And it's not like the women where you're hot-shotting it, where you're like hot potato, and you're like, oh, there's a belt, there's a belt, there's a belt, there's a belt. You're changing it because you need to. Ziggler then can go on at Mania and defend his championship against Sami Zayn, who's drafted to SmackDown. That's what I'll do, or Cesaro, or both. Get that title on Ziggler, get Miz up. How about this? Ziggler goes IC title way, Miz goes Rumble way. Have Miz say, look, I'm going to win the Rumble, I'm going to win the Rumble, I'm going to win the Rumble. He's a great promo, so I think that could work greatly. So Ziggler is my prediction. What I think they'll do, I think they'll have Miz win by maybe Maurice sitting under the ring, pulling Ziggler's foot, or something along those lines. They'll have Maurice get involved somehow. It's WWE, the land of fucking strange and peculiar things under that ring, so I would not be surprised if Maurice got involved. I think Maurice should be banned from ringside. Or how awesome would this be? Maurice is holding Ziggler's foot he's literally trying to grab it, but Maurice is holding a foot. Miz is out on the floor. Vicky Guerrero comes out shouting, excuse me. She then slaps the shit out of Maurice. Maurice bumps. Ziggler then gets the title. Ziggler and Vicky celebrate. Vicky then fucks off back to doing whatever she's doing. Finally, Ziggler put to bed Maurice. Maurice got her receipt. Maurice got her comeuppance, the good guy. So Ziggler got his comeuppance. He finally beat Miz once and for all. And then Ziggler finally beat Maurice once and after screwing him all these times. And Vicky was the one who done it, because you don't want Ziggler getting his hands on Maurice, because then as a babyface, that would not work. You don't want a babyface hitting a woman. Doesn't work. Get him heel heat. Unless it's Stephanie McMahon. That's what I would do. I'd have Vicky Guerrero be the one to prevent Vicky Guerrero to attack Maurice. That's what I would do. And I want to hear what you guys think with Ziggler and Miz, because I think that's a really tricky one and what you think they'll do. So just put that in the live comments what you think. By the way, just letting you guys know, once I've talked about the next 2 matches, I will be going to live comments. So get that live comments full. Get it packed. Get it rammed like a nun's vagina. Then we have Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss in a tables match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And this one, I think we had Bliss put... Right, this is what W will do. Bliss had Becky Lynch put through a table on SmackDown, means Becky Lynch has to put Alexa Bliss through the table at TLC. This is what will happen. Becky Lynch will get the win with the Bexplex off the top rope. That's what will happen, okay? What I would do, I would have Bliss get the win. You could do it. How could you? You could have... Do you remember back at TLC 09 where Sheamus beat John Cena for the WWE title in a tables match, and they did it in a fluky way that protected Cena, but at the same time got Sheamus the fuck over? I think I could see this happening here, because, Becky Lynch is a star. Alexa Bliss is incredibly talented and really improved this year, and again, she might be my most improved of the year. So I would have Alexa Bliss win by maybe pushing Becky Lynch off the top rope, like Sheamus, not identically the same, of course, but like that. I think that really could work. Or they could just go Becky Lynch, get the win and move on. But I think Alexa Bliss should win. And then at the Rumble, you can do a 4-way. Or you could do Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Or Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella. Or you could add Natalya in. No, how about this? Okay, how about this? Carmella versus Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch at the Rumble. Nikki Bella versus Natalya in a feud, because Natalya was the one who attacked Nikki Bella backstage. I think they could do that. Even this is just brainstorming, by the way. This is not... I'm not reading this from a site. I've got no notes. I'm just brainstorming out loud. So either way they could do this. I'm just brainstorming with you guys. So I don't know with this, and it's good that I don't know, but I want Alexa Bliss to win, which maybe in my booking strategy is a bit why I'm a bit more lenient towards Alexa Bliss. But I think they're going to play it safe and have Becky Lynch win. But Bliss, you know, she has nothing to be ashamed of. Even if she loses this feud, she's had a good feud with Becky Lynch and really stepped up anyway. Then we have AJ defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Oh my. Sheesh. Speaking of 5,000 times you've seen this, AJ and Ambrose, we've seen this so many times. I think it's going to end with Ellsworth costing Dean Ambrose the title. How about Ambrose is on the top of the rung, he has his hand on the belt, but AJ throws Ellsworth into the ladder, which sends Ambrose down to the floor. AJ Styles clash on Ellsworth, climbs up the ladder, retains the belt. You cannot have Ambrose win this match. It cannot happen. AJ needs this belt. Ambrose don't. AJ needs this belt. He needs a lengthy run to solidify him as the top guy on SmackDown. Or a top guy in the company. He needs it. He needs to be known as the main event, not the guy who had a world title run where he beat Ambrose a few times and lost. He needs to win this match. I'll be so fucking fuming if I come on here Sunday night live at 4 a.m. in the morning and AJ lost the belt to Dean Ambrose. I'll be fuming. I'll be pissed off. I'll be aggravated. I'll be annoyed. I'll be agitated. I'll be all names under the sun. I do not want that to happen. AJ needs that belt more than Ambrose does. Ambrose is a megastar. AJ's the star who wants to become a megastar with the company, with the casuals, sorry. AJ needs to win. I don't care how you do it. If you have Jobber James get involved, I don't give a fuck, but you must do it. So let's get to some live comments to see if we have any. Again, it's a strange time and no one knew when I was going live. I just kind of popped up, hey, going live, so not expecting a load. Right, so Edward Mohan, okay. Why do you do a show like this if you hate WWE so much? Do you want to know why I do a show like this, Edward Mohan? Now, you comment on most videos, so I will not be too cruel. The reason why I do a show like this, I touched on this right at the beginning of the show. If you were right at the beginning of the show watching, you would know. Numbers, okay? I know if I upload a Ring of Honor Wrestling review for then or a New Japan Tag League, I'm not going to do half the numbers of what I do for a TLC 2016. But this is me being real with you, bro, because you comment all the time. I'm being real with you. The reason I cover WWE is because of the numbers. Simple as that. Not everyone watches TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan. They don't watch it. They want Lucha Underground. I do those reviews because I watch them anyway, so I may as well put the content out. I watch WWE because I made a promise to Mr. Koco that I'll keep the numbers up, that I'll keep the numbers there, I'll keep the WWE audience there for him. I made a promise that I would, okay? And that promise meant through thick and thin, I'd have to watch WWE. I am a WWE fan. If you are a fan of a football team and that football team is shit, do you then not support that team? No, I'm a WWE fan. I want it to be good. I want it to be good, and I'm so angry because I want it to be good. The reason why you're listening to me talk about TLC is because you'll be watching the TLC pay-per-view and you want it to be good. Okay? That's why. That's the brutally on. I don't care if people hate that opinion. I'm doing this for my boss, Dave Koco, because if I did different reviews, numbers would skyrocket down. And I'm in the midst of trying to build those numbers up. Okay, I'm really trying hard to build those. You don't understand, like I'm killing my fucking body clock day in and day out to get those numbers up. And I want to get those numbers up. But a show like this allows me to book. The reason why I did this is because I can book the pay-per-view. In my head, I can think, okay, that's what I want them to do. And then I can plan that out. And then, yeah, this is what they'll do. But if you realize this show, it's not really what I think they'll do. It's about me talking what I want them to do and how I think they should do it. That is the reason why I watch WWE. Again, numbers are everything. You live by the numbers. You die by the numbers. Brutally honest, and I apologize. Let's see if we have any more live comments. Let's see if he replied, because I didn't mean offense to it. He just really caught me off guard, that's all. I wasn't expecting that from him, because I know he's a long-time listener of the show. Or at least he has been recently. Yeah, he hasn't replied, and maybe he just logged off after. But the reason why I'm doing this review is because I'm a WWE fan. I'm a fan of pro wrestling, whether it be WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Lucha Underground. I'm a fan of all of it. And just because it's shit recently Does not mean I'm going to just not mean I'm going to bury it. I'm going to bury it. Doesn't mean I'm going to just forget about it and say, oh, I'm done with UW. It's just like a football team. Just because they go through rough years or a rough spell, I'm not going to just say, oh, I'm not a fan of them anymore. I'm a WWE fan at heart. Okay, I want the show to be so fucking good. I really do. Every time I turn on Raw, I may be depressed, I may be down because I have to watch it for my friend Dave Koco, my boss. He is my boss. When he says to me, take over the channel, it will be for the Monday Night Raw reviews. You have to do the reviews, okay? Because they're the ones that give the numbers. Again, numbers. You live by the numbers. Simple as that. I hope I answered your question well there, Edward Mohan. I apologize to everyone else who had to listen to that. That being said, in the comments below, post live listeners, put in the comments, what are your predictions for this Sunday's TLC pay-per-view? Are you excited? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hang yourself, 10 being I'm so buzzing my dick's hard, I'm at a 6. I'll be honest. I think this pay-per-view, AJ and Ambrose will deliver. Miz and Ziggler will deliver. Bliss versus Lynch will deliver because I'm excited about that. Orton and Wyatt will be okay with the tag match. Baron Corbin Kalisto could be the sleeper of the night, and I think it'd be great. And I think on the pre-show, they'll probably add Apollo Crews and Luke Harper, which I think would be great. SmackDown Live pay-per-views tend to be good. Kind of, so at 5 or 6, which is, I'm mediocre. Like, there'll be times where I'm excited. There'll be times I'm like, oh, I don't really care. But in the midst of it, thank you, everyone, for listening live. Thank you, everyone, listening post-live. Hope you enjoy the show, everyone. Make sure you stay safe, stay well. From LK, from KocoSports, and from my friend Dave Koco, from Booms, from Sammy. We'll be staying safe. Make sure you stay safe, and we'll be catching your asses down the line.